Hey guys, welcome. What's something that every artist should know how to draw? Other than what you're thinking. That's right, the male and female head. Or portraits. Drawing the head can be a tricky business. I'll attempt to simplify and summarize one popular approach in charcoal, which isn't something I use all that often, but it lays down quick and dark. And messy, which is probably why I don't use it all that often. We'll begin with two simple masses. A ball, which forms the cranium, and a boxy jaw shape. The cranium is basically a sphere, but with flat sides. Draw a circle with front, side, and middle axis lines. The circle doesn't have to be perfect, but the height and width should be about the same. For the front vertical axis line, treat it like the angular measurements of longitude on a globe. Then we'll find the side of the head with a similar vertical axis line, and a horizontal equator line across the middle, just a simple three-dimensional sphere. Next, draw an oval to form the sides. It should be roughly 2/3 the height of the circle, like so. The horizontal center line of your sphere and oval make up the brow. Step 3. Draw the chin and connecting jawline. This is where you find the major angles of the face. The edge of the jaw usually extends to the center of the oval or a little further back. We've already identified the cranium's side planes, so now we'll create planes for the cheek and jaw area. So this line will help connect the top of the ear with the outside of the chin. Step 4. Draw in the neck and shoulders. If there's enough interest, perhaps we'll do a future video that focuses on neck and shoulder anatomy. For our purposes here, we'll just show enough to support the head. Lastly, we draw in the features of the head: the eyes, nose, lips, ears, hair, jaw, cheeks, and chin. But first, let's quickly run through it again. This approach works great to establish the head's perspective at multiple, even extreme angles. As you're doing this, try to think of the head as a three-dimensional form in space. As the center line makes up the brow, the bottom of the oval will be level with the nose. The distance between the brow and nose will be about the same as the nose to chin. Attach the jaw, and we've got a three-dimensional representation of the head. Again, establish the neck and shoulders. And we're ready to dive into the features. I'll turn one of these into an average-looking man and the other into a woman. After a brief intermission. I'm thirsty. I'll hold my pencil a little looser as I flesh out the form and details of the features, starting with the eyes and brow. Think of not only the head as a three-dimensional object, but also the eyes, nose, and mouth. Give some hints of skeletal structure and form to the cheek and jawline. We'll move around to the hair and ear. Perhaps at a later time we'll focus some tutorials on each of the features of the head, if there seems to be enough interest in that. We'll give our everyman a sort of classical look, maybe a beard. If this wasn't for demonstration purposes, I'd probably take a little more time, be a little more careful, but this should give you a good idea how to start. Sometimes it's nice to add some darker tones behind your figure to bring out the contrast from the background and bring the overall picture plane to life. Since I'm working in charcoal, I'll blend a bit with my finger in the shadow areas. As you can see, I have a centrally located overhead light source on my imaginary figure. It doesn't take much to blend charcoal to the page, so you have to be careful not to go overboard. A rookie mistake is to blend everything until the whole page looks muddy and nearly all the same gray tone. You want to try and keep a lot of your interesting textures throughout. On our female, we'll also start with the brow, then move into the eyes. Find her hairline and jump down to the nostrils. Her cheek and jawline should be slightly smoother than the man's. As a general rule, young women have less line work in the face than men, especially if beauty is a factor. If you're drawing from the imagination or a specific character, the hairstyle can say a lot about a person, and there are hundreds to choose from, so put some thought into it. Try to save details like eyelashes until the end, so you can focus on big picture items at the beginning. That way you don't have beautiful eyes and lashes on Quasimodo's head. And here's our 5-minute demo version of John and Jane Doe. I hope you found it helpful. So that's one way to work out the male and female head that's quite popular. We've shown you a few other ways, and we'll probably continue to add new approaches, so stay tuned and draw it with us. Take care.